Hello friends, I am Dr. Sugandha Khangarwag, Assistant Professor, Department of Physics, Mahatma Phule Arts, Commerce and Sitaramji Chaudhary Science Mahavidyalaya Varud. Here I am presenting Compton Effect, BSc Part 3, Semester 5 topic. Dear all, before this lecture I had uploaded one live classroom PPT lecture before COVID-19 lockdown. Now to explain the Compton effect, there is some necessity of some material. We can say that in second slide I have mentioned why we need to study the Compton effect quantum mechanically. It means that it is necessary to study the quantum mechanics and classical mechanics. That is, we must have the difference between classical and quantum mechanics. So in next slide I have mentioned the difference between classical and quantum mechanics. See, in classical mechanics, it is the study of real objects and their motion in real space. That is, it is the study of macroscopic bodies having large mass, and in quantum mechanics, it is the study of very precise observations, that is the study of microscopic particle, electron, photon, proton, neutrons, etc. In classical mechanics now, these are the macro bodies, and that's why that bodies have definite path, definite velocity. And in quantum mechanics, these are the microparticle, and that's why it have random path, that is indefinite path and indefinite velocity. Then in classical mechanics, that macro bodies exhibit the wave nature, and in quantum mechanics it exhibit the wave nature as well as particle nature. Now there is another important particle, that is the photon. So in next slide I have described the photon. Is there any requirement of photon? Yes. For this we must imagine a shaft of yellow sunlight becoming through a window. According to quantum physics, that beam is made up of zillions of tiny packets of light, that is the number of tiny packets of light called as photons streaming through the air. But what exactly is photon? That photon is not clear in above sentences. But what is exactly the photon? A photon is the smallest discrete amount of or quantum of electromagnetic radiation. It is the basic unit of all light. Now, why photon is used for the Compton effect? Why it is different from the other particle? Why not other particles are used for that? So, the photons have its properties, and that properties are discussed in this slide. There are so many properties of photon, and due to these properties, the photon is different from the other microparticles. First property, a photon travels at a speed of light c in vacuum, that speed is mentioned here, 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. It has zero rest mass, that is the photon cannot exist at rest position. Then it has energy E is equals to h nu, where nu is the frequency of photon. The kinetic mass of photon is m is equals to E by c square is equals to h by c lambda, where lambda is the wavelength. The momentum of photon is P is equals to E by c is equals to h by lambda. Photon also travels in a straight line path. Energy of photon depends on frequency nu of the photon, so its energy does not change when photon travels from one medium to the another medium. Now come towards the Compton effect. For Compton effects, all these accessories are important, that is the quantum mechanics concepts as well as photon also. So what is Compton effect here? This was an experiment conducted by A.R. Compton in 1923 that confirmed the quantum theory of light. Compton directed the electromagnetic waves with short wavelength X-ray at electrons, that is short wavelength X-ray means the X-ray having large frequency, large energy. As we know that the wavelength and frequency both are inversely proportional. If wavelength is less, then energy and frequency both are more. That found that incident wave had slightly shorter wavelength than the wave produced after collision. Now see, this is the Compton effect diagram. It is the target material which is mentioned at the center, that is circularly mentioned at center, that is the target electron. That material is exactly a graphite material. Here there is the big question, why we use graphite material as the target material in Compton effect? Because The graphite material consists of large number of loosely bound electrons, and for Compton effect, loosely bound electron in the target material, or we can say free electron, are more useful because they can be detached with less amount of energy. So here, when X-ray photon having initial parameters, that is the incident wavelength lambda, energy h nu and momentum h by lambda, incident on the target electron, it gets scattered into the three components, that is modified wavelength lambda dash as mentioned in this diagram, then energy E dash is equals to h nu dash and momentum h by lambda dash. Now see here, along with this there is the phi, that is the angle between the unmodified wavelength, we can say, or axis of the incident photon, and the modified wavelength, that is called as scattering angle. Along with these two components, there is also the recoil electron generated, and that recoil electron having energy is equals to mc square and momentum p. Now the definition of Compton effect is given in next slide, that I already explained. When X-ray photon incident on the target material, it's scattered into the three components, modified wavelength lambda dash, unmodified wavelength lambda, and in addition to this, recoil electron is also generated. Now see this diagram. This is actually the target material at the center. This is actually the target material, that is graphite material, which consists of large number of loosely bound electrons. And see why this is the incident photon, incident X-ray photon. When incident on the target material, it loses its energy. It loses its energy to the loosely bound electron and gets scattered here with less energy. And this loosely bound electron gain energy from the photon. This loosely bound electron gains energy from the photon and again scattered as a recoil electron. Means this electron having energy E is equals to mc square, that I mentioned in the previous slide. This explanation I gave in the previous slide. Compton effect can be explained making two assumptions, that is the electron from which X-ray scattered is the free electron and the electron is at rest. When X-ray photon having energy E is equals to h nu collide with the atom of scatterer, it interact with the loosely bound electron in the target material. During the collision, X-ray photon transfers some part of its energy to the electron. Thus, electron at rest acquire energy from the incident photon. Incident photon loses its energy in the collision and gets scattered. So, the scattered photon has less energy than that of the incident photon. As we know the relation E is equals to hc by lambda, here h is the Planck's constant and c is the velocity of light, and that's why hc product of h and c both are constant. So, E is inversely proportional to wavelength. So, if E is less, energy of scattered photon is less, so its wavelength is more. So, we can say the modified wavelength, that is lambda dash, is always greater than the unmodified wavelength lambda or incident wavelength lambda. Now the Compton shift. This shift in wavelength is given by del lambda is equals to lambda dash minus lambda is equals to h upon m naught c into 1 minus cos phi, where del lambda is the Compton shift, which is the difference between modified wavelength lambda dash and unmodified wavelength lambda. Phi is the scattering angle, m0 is the rest mass of electron, the value is given 9.11 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg, and c is the standard velocity of light, 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Now, what wave theory predicts? What are the predictions of wave theory? The wave theory predicts that no wavelength change should be takes place. As in previous slide means in Compton effect diagram, there is unmodified component. If we see the unmodified component, the wavelength do not change. That is, unmodified wavelength is lambda, and which is same as the incident wavelength. So that point is the wave theory predicts that no wavelength change should be takes place. The incoming electromagnetic waves force the electron to oscillate with the same frequency as that of wave. Therefore, the oscillating electron should re-emit the electromagnetic waves of the same frequency. Now, what are the confirmations of quantum theory? What is the confirmation of quantum theory here? Incoming photon collide with electron and transfers some amount of energy, that is E is equals to h nu to the electron. The scattered photon now has less energy than the incident one, and so decrease in the frequency with increase in wavelength as this relation lambda is equals to c by nu, that is lambda is inversely proportional to nu, that is lambda is inversely proportional to frequency. Now, what are the applications of Compton effect? The Compton scattering is a prime importance to radiobiology, as it happens to be most probable interaction of high energy X-rays with atomic nuclei in living being, and is applied in the radiation therapy. In material physics, Compton scattering can be used to probe the wave function of the electrons in matter in the momentum representation. Now there are some conclusions. Compton disproved the classical theory of scattering, that is Compton effect is failed to explain the classical theory of scattering, that is this concept is related to the unmodified wavelength. The wavelength shift of X-ray scattered, that is the Compton shift at a given angle, is absolutely independent of the intensity of radiation and the length of exposure, and depends only on the scattering angle phi. The Compton scattering is more observable for free electron. As I discussed earlier, target material consists of more number of loosely bound electron, that is the free electron, then and only then we get the scattered component, that is we can say the modified component. Compton effect uses for the applications such as electron and mineral density as measurement in certain volume of an object, type of chemical bonds, measurement of electron distribution and momentum. In this way, here we have studied the Compton effect on the basis of its objective and its outcomes. Here in predictions, in applications and in conclusion, applications, conclusion and predictions, all are the outcomes, and the aim of this experiment is the objective. So anything we can study in the form of objective and outcome, which is very much useful, very much clear to our student, that is the BSc student. Now this topic is related, is useful to all university, means Amravati University student, then Nagpur University as well as Gondwana University student, that is BSc student. So if you feel this topic having thorough knowledge or deep knowledge or deep description, then like my lecture, share this video and subscribe my channel as a Sugandha Khangar on YouTube. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.